Hey folks, it is Thursday the 1st of May. Probably going to be the warmest day of the year, so it is definitely walk and talk weather. Now I am at Wickham Road, Shirley. Opposite me, Trinity School. Originally that was the site of Shirley House from about 1720. 1912 it was converted to Shirley Park Hotel, and in 1965 it became Trinity School. They relocated here from their site in what is now the Wickham Centre in Croydon. Today's walk and talk is literally along Wickham Road. I'm not going to go all the way into West Wickham. Kind of break this general area down into a few phases. Along one side, cross over and back here. Without further ado, let's get on our way. So another pan round this pretty busy roundabout. So I shall cross over and then sort of come back. So we're going to be fighting the sun. It's not super high at this stage. Been allowed to cross the road, thank you. No Superloop bus there. See plenty of those nowadays. Methodist Church, Shirley Methodist Church over there. I actually parked the other side of that in a fairly quiet road. And I'm going to, usual thing, pull out a number of features that I've spotted on maps on the way. And as we see quite often, there's a nice mix of different types of property. The one behind the wall over there looks quite nice. I don't know if it has a feature or if it's just a domestic home. White cottage. Sometimes if the weather offers up good opportunities, one has to take them. And we've had so little rainfall this year in a very, very dry start to the year. So it's just a case of marrying up available time with camera and a scoped out location. There we go. Now, the Crown. I'm actually going to, so there's one angle of it. It's an Ember Inns house. I'll do the talky bit from this side. I'm drawn to the chimneys once again. Some nice detail on those. Very similar to what we had at the Tudor Rose at Cheston. But yes, this is the Crown. It doesn't look that old, this particular view. But there are references to the Crown in Shirley in newspaper headlines going back to the 1860s, when a Samuel Mills was the proprietor. If anyone knows when this was built, rebuilt, I'm assuming it's the same plot of land. It certainly looks that way according to the maps. But it must have been rebuilt in, I'm guessing, 20s, 30s perhaps. And I just wonder if any of the original fabric of the building remains. I'm not even sure if I've ever been there, and I don't live that far away. Perhaps once, I don't know. So that's the Crown, and opposite, that used to be a club. A men's club of sorts. I would assume it's just a residential property now. Nice style to the building, the balls up the top there. Quite like that. I would expect that a number of you know this next building, because on older maps next to the Crown Inn, or a couple of doors along, it said nursery. And I certainly remember this as a garden centre. It went by different names that came and went. We've got the flats above, and we've got a glass frontage now. Oh, let's have a look. Hummingbird. Might as well go up to the sign. Hummingbird House, there we go. Little sign there. But that is no longer a nursery or garden centre. It is Hummingbird House. Looks like offices perhaps inside. Over the hedge. Slightly newer flats here. And then there's some development going on over there, some restoration work it says. On the maps often it would just say flats. And we've got Shirley Parish Hall. Not been in there, but it has been there for quite a time. There's a preschool in there. So this is Gentle Dental Care, advanced dental health. Seems that you can take care of yourself, personal care on our high street nowadays. Years ago you would get your groceries and go to the butchers and fishmongers and the like. Now it's very much personal care and food. Post office. And the spaghetti tree. I think I've been in there. Shirley Oaks Road there that connects up to Shirley Oaks Village area. So we'll look in a bit more detail as we go through. Abra Kebabra, what a name, eh? Love it. Shirley Fish Bar. Wickham Dry Cleaners. Oh, formerly Limestone Centre, Stowe Centre. I don't know if it's... Doesn't look like there's much going on there. No sign or anything. The Shirley Inn pub. So Crown Inn a little bit further down, Shirley Inn here. Take your choice. Thank you. Plumwiser, but I will pan back and have a look at the pub. So yeah, Shirley Inn just on the corner of the road there. Lovely sky today. And we'll have a look at those later. So Calisco off licence and grocery. We've got the Laser Studio. Rupees, gourmet Indian food. Naked Dough artisan pizza. That looks nice. A couple of things to look at here. Firstly, is this wonderful cottage here. Used to be an estate agent's. Number 190 Wickham Road, R.W. Johnson. And converted into a home. Sold fairly recently, I think, within the last year. But it exists on maps going back to the tithe maps. That's as far back as I could go. 1837, there's a reference to this lodge. I don't know if the property is listed. I know from experience that can be a challenge, but certainly it has got that history. And I'd be interested if anyone knows any more about that. And look back here. So I don't know if that was businesses of sorts once. It looks all been blocked in there. Just that first one here, of course. And then smaller businesses, printers here. Almost like those type of buildings that you see alongside railway lines or near railway stations. So that's that. But yeah, lovely. Don't see many thatched roofs in Croydon. But that is a stunning property. Lovely. The sticky ground here from the sap on the tree. You can actually see, well, possibly see, the leaves actually look wet. If I stood here long enough, I'd probably get it all over my lens. There's a little break in the shops here. And then we pick up another parade. It's interesting how it's laid out here. So a nice start. Bit of history already. And as usual with these, I find that people who view the videos often know way more than I do. So feel free to jump on the comments and add some more information. Keep the conversation going. Oh, and like and subscribe if you're new here. That would be appreciated too. Thank you. A little walkway up here to the next parade. Oscar London Barber's Shop. Shirley Laundrette, Mona Pharmacy, Kamur Meze and Grill, empty. So this is between the grill and the Lash Lobby London, LDN. Wonder what that was, or what it'll be. Nails by Rose. See what I mean about personal care and food. Exclusive Wine and Oriental Food Association. So that's a nice takeaway there. Ivy Rose Hair. I'm mentioning all these businesses. Free promotion. E-Vet Beauty Rooms. Golden Inn Malaysian, Chinese and Thai restaurants. Kerr's Accountants. Financial care rather than personal care. And we've got another blank business, and then Neil Unisex Hairdressers. Looks like more traditional there, which is nice. I don't need a hairdresser, but anyway. PTA Garage Services. I'm assuming it was once a forecourt for petrol. We've got the working area at the back, and then we have Spices Indian Takeaway. The News Rack. And Regal Nails Beauty and Spa. A lady and gentleman spa. So you really can look after yourself. Have your hair done, then grab a takeaway afterwards. Now this is one of the more sad stories of recent times. Croydon Council went on a library closing crusade. Sanderstead was closed and others, and Shirley was one that was closed as well. Lovely Art Deco building, had extensions on the side there. It's tragic really. I think this was one of the least used of all of them. And of course nowadays you notice this changes to the library service, and yes, it is a change, but it's like when you get a new bill increase from your utility provider. Changes to your contract, yeah. So they're offering a free bus service to Ashburton Library every Thursday. And the site is going to become a community base. It says council staff continue to work on the site, but I'm not seeing much evidence of that today. And then where the nearest library is, but yeah, I mean, retaining the building is a tick from me. But that is a beautiful example of Art Deco. Probably needs a little bit of restoration, but... And sadly closed, but will be, fingers crossed, a community base. Let's hope that works out. My aim is to gradually spread out and cover areas that I've not yet covered. And I have mentioned this before, that almost creating my own map where I connect one area to the next. Obviously where there's things to see, but so this is the first time I'm branching away from Addington Hills, where I did do a video before, after the fire a few years ago. Covered Addington in many different ways. And this is sort of edging out towards both West Wickham, and I'll also go the other way towards Addiscombe and beyond. So basically keeping the videos sort of a digestible length, and to the same kind of way that I edit them. I'm going to go a little bit further along here, along Wickham Road, then cross over, highlight a lovely house, and then work my way back, and then in the next video we'll go a bit further towards West Wickham and so on. Well, when I say the next video, the next one in this area, my order of filming is a little bit random, shall we say, but stay tuned is the best way. Now this is Tudor Lodge, a quite beautiful property. It really is a stunner. I don't know the actual age of it. I don't know its story. I just know that it's one beautiful property that you see on this quite busy road, this red route as you go from sort of Croydon through Shirley towards West Wickham and beyond. But yeah, Tudor Lodge. Lovely, lovely looking building. So this is my turning point. So then come back and we'll pick up again towards the next set of traffic lights. Just over there is the Heartland Way kind of cut through towards Addington and towards the site of Swiss Lodge, which was sadly demolished recently. And I remember coming up to those lights and waiting, and just ahead of me as I wait to cross, well, I could go on this bit because they're on a red. Just ahead of me where we got Bairstow Eaves, there was a golf shop. Now, I think at one point it was just called the Golf Shop or Fairways Golf Centre. I saw a reference to that. But do you remember that, the golf centre? I think it occupied 2 or 3 shop fronts, maybe the furthest bit, which we'll have a closer look when we're able to cross. Green for go. So we have, yeah, Bairstow Eaves estate agents. And then we've got one to let. We have a Barber's. And we have an empty one. And then we have Proctor's, which is on the end here, sort of double, maybe triple fronted. I want to say that that's where the golf shop was, but I may be wrong. It may have been 289 to 291. It may have been these two. Possible edit coming in now to confirm, but I think I looked that up earlier. 289 to 291 rings a bell. Anyway, just looking back where we were earlier. A nice style to that garage building. I'm assuming 1930s as well. Roof line at the top there. Quite nice. A couple of newish apartment developments here. Windmill Court, because Shirley has a windmill, which I haven't done a video about yet, maybe one day. Superloop bus stops here. So here we have the Co-op. Omega Accountants. One of these was NatWest. It may have been that one, NatWest Shirley, previously, and I think I did a day's relief there once. Looks like a possible night safe space just here. Sometimes you can see the signage underneath, but that's been completely covered over. So I'm assuming NatWest. Dry Cleaners, Shirley Cafe, Green's Superfoods, and I remember a popular wedding photographer down here whose name escapes me. Lisa's Florist. Ah, well, it must have been it must have been this location, Picture Partnership Photography. The name is on the tip of my tongue, and the moment I've finished filming today, it will come back to me. We have Shirley Dental Practice. The theme of personal care continues with the odd building supplies or photographic centre. Another sticky zone. I don't know if the mic will pick this up, but probably not. But it is most definitely sticking to my shoes. Sticky sycamore sap. Just over the way there, we've got another view of the Thatched Cottage. I often start with the really older maps, like the tithe maps, because you can overlay them directly on modern maps and therefore know if something is still around or not. And that was one of the highlights. There's another lodge further down, but we might get to that in another video. Or if I've unfortunately missed it this time round, I'll make sure that I include it in the next video. a lighting shop. Allen Heritage. I believe they sold that property. I think I saw it on a listing online. The Thatched Cottage. Athena Shirley, confectionery, off licensed, etc. Turkish restaurant. Ala Turca. Cocktail bar and meze. We've got Q Cafe. Breakfast brunch. Medi Pharmacy. EM or M Nail Bar. Chartered accountants. Perhaps upstairs. Cubitt and West. Jack's Hair Salon. Angelina Coffee Shop. Very tempting. Lucamilo? Lucamio. I'm guessing Lucamio perhaps. Pizzeria. Franco and Pino Barbers. Where you can wait in a seat in the sunshine. A rare thing. So you can go through Shirley Oaks and come out near Stroud Green Pumping Station, which is a magnificent building. I have to mention a pumping station in every video if I can. Or water tower or reservoir. It's a thing. And already we're on our final leg. Nice little up and down. And if you took this stroll, of course, you would be fine for a cup of coffee or something more fulfilling on the food front. Oh, my alliteration's on top today. So closer on Shirley Parish Hall. Nice place there, Shirley Lodge. Now I don't know if that's the name of the house or whether it has lodge history to it. And then looking back, Hummingbird House, formerly the garden centre. And prior to that, either there or over that side a bit more, nursery. Nicely kept grounds there in the flats. Substantial chimney arrangement on that building facing us there. So this is the old men's club. As at the 1950s anyway, it's 35 and 35A. Well, there were the two doors that I saw. And another look back at the Crown. Please get back to me with any information if you know about particularly the old to new rebuild activity. I'm guessing it was there in Victorian times and perhaps before, and then demolished and rebuilt completely. No detail showing age on these properties, but there's certainly a nice styling to them. And the White Cottage. There we have it. Set off nicely against the beautiful sky today on the 1st of May 2025. There's some substantial land associated with the school and I was looking at any connections I could make between a kind of then and now, and where the tennis courts were for the hotel, there are tennis courts for the school. But yeah, quite a bit of land as a house, as a very large house in the area, and also as a hotel, which again lent itself well to the school. There was a newspaper article in 1959 where they announced their intentions, and it was to go through with the purchase, but the hotel ran for another 3 years or so after the purchase was completed, until the school building started and so on. Anyway, that is it. That is the walk and talk for Wickham Road, Shirley. Probably a part 1, depending on how I put together the next bit. But I just wanted to get out and share another part of the locality for your enjoyment, nostalgia, and hopefully entertainment. So thanks for watching. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.